And I would love to welcome all of you to our Women's Essential class today. We have a new presentation for you. It's going to be a lot of fun. I will try and speak slowly. I tend to really try and talk fast because there's so much information I want to share with you guys. But for now, I am just going to actually start sharing my screen and tell you that my name is not Rosetta Matthews. In fact, I forgot to change my name when I had started there. So, so I am Jackie Aiken. I will introduce myself, although most of you guys know me. I've been a massage therapist, and I would call myself a bit of a hormone specialist in that I have spent a lot of time going through so many problems with women on an endocrine support level, where there's just so many things going on that, we try and move forward. We try and just, live a healthy, balanced life. But there's some things that operate sort of unintentionally, and sort of invisibly. But when we start to take notice of them, we realize that it's actually a big cry for help from our body in a certain way. And it will cry for a while. But unfortunately, what tends to happen is it ends up having to yell at us before we listen. So this is a way to sort of prophylactically help yourself beforehand, before anything gets out of control, or really take control of it if it has already kind of run off the rails and you feel like a freight train that's moving forward. We're going to try and help you just balance things out in the mind, the soul, and the body. And I want to ask you guys a question. If you know the answer to this, I'm going to tell you that there is one very important system that is not really a part of this presentation, and it's our nervous system. The nervous system is sort of the biggest, it has the biggest effect on the body because it goes from every single part of our body to every single part of our brain. It's that one connection that our brain has to our body. And the thing that sort of operates in between these is the hormones. And if they're not operating properly, then how does our nervous system operate properly, right? Like, it really makes sense when you all boil it down to systemically what is going on and how can I support myself. So that's why we're here today. Sorry, I was a little bit, it's funny, I wasn't feeling great over the sorry, I had jumped ahead here. I wasn't feeling really great over the weekend. And so I wound up not, sort of taking the rest. I took the rest that I needed, managed to kind of get through it within a couple of days, but forgive me if I still have a little bit of residual stuff going on. I have my peppermint tea here. I'll take a sip. So yes, I had talked about all of these things. So I'm just going to go forward with what we're wanting to talk about today. So these core sort of few things that I was talking about, super simple, right? We have to actually consume healthy fats. We were taught, especially in the 80s, 90s, to have no fat. And so we tend to stick to these diet type of foods, which are robbing our bodies of these essential fatty acids. We drink way too much coffee. I am a coffee addict. But when I realized hormonally what it was doing to me, yeah, a cup a day is great. Yeah, even 2 cups is okay if you're not having one late at night. But I had to make some rules for myself, don't have coffee after 5 p.m. Don't have a third coffee. Get water, get coconut water, get water's not on here, but this is why that caffeine is so important. It's okay to have a little bit, but we really have to watch our intake on that, right? And sleep, minimum to 7 to 8 hours. Everybody knows that if we're not sleeping, things are not regenerating. This is when your hair grows, your nails grow. This is when you heal. This is when everything happens, when you're sleeping, because all of your systems can shut down. That nervous system gets to restart. It's like shutting off the computer and allowing it to fresh start in the morning. And when you're moving for just 30 minutes a day, even if it's just you're stuck in your office chair a lot, even being at home and you get up and you notice you're stiff, walk around while you're on the phone, put your printer in another room just for fun. Do things that will get you moving a little bit, but actually take that conscious effort to start incorporating a little bit of exercise or a little bit of movement during the day, even just a walk, even just yoga, even getting that foam roller that you know you should get. You know, when we kind of stop and listen to ourselves, we're able to, you know, sort of, we know exactly what we have to do. We may even have already bought that program to do it. We may have, you know, made an accountability partner and haven't talked to her in 2 weeks. What do we need to do to just kind of move forward with just moving a little bit every day? Supporting your digestive system. Now, when I talk about our nervous system, the digestive system is another huge connection between the nervous system and the brain. It is the one that is sort of going to kind of maintain the way everything's going. You know, it's kind of like the transmission. Your car really can't operate without it. It really needs to be moving things through in the right ways so that it can get to where it needs to go. Sometimes it's simply just looking at that. We have Digest Zen or Zengest. Why don't we use it more? You know, I actually have it in the bathroom now so that I throw it in the bath. It's going to get rid of mucus for the kids. It's going to, you know, just the fennel is going to just promote that relaxation. There's so many wonderful things about it. And then, you know, taking those probiotics and stuff we're going to go through. Your vitamins, your daily lifelong vitality supplements, that right there is going to give you all your fruits and vegetables that you need in a day. So, hey, you can just build up from there. And oiling up daily. We have these, you know, great tools, the Clary Calm right here for just, you know, you don't know what else to do. You take nothing from this class aside from this screenshot right here. This is it. This is the answer. We always make it so complicated. But what's just one, you know, next little thing we can do? Look at each of these and just think of that one little next thing. It's so clear when we just break it down, kind of boil it down, you know? So I love this flowchart because this is a way that we can support all of our different systems that are going to be our main operators, right? So if we want to kind of get our metabolism moving, if we want to have all our glands, you know, filtering the organs that they, glands and organs filtering the way they need to, all of those nodes are opening and closing when they need to, we need to be able to support them properly because they have a lot of outer stress. The outer stress comes from all of the things, right? It comes from just physical stress that we put on ourselves that we have to do on a daily basis. It comes from the lack thereof. You know, it comes to so many things, but one of the things is liver, right? It's our huge filtering organ. It's going to be big time into hormone balance. One of the things that's not on here is rosemary, which I love. And you can take a drop of it and literally just rub it right over your liver. So that's, you know, kind of right up underneath the rib cage here. You're able to use so many things, but using Zendocrine, the soft gels, that is a huge way to just aid all of those filtering organs, your gallbladder, your liver, you know, but really the liver is so benefited by having a little Zendocrine capsule or even using the Zendocrine oil right over your liver. Why not, right? That's exactly what it's meant for. You can absolutely just drink some lemon. You can drink the Slim and Sassy. You can rub the Slim and Sassy on. That again is what it's made for. Just huge in aiding that organ, right? The Slim and Sassy metabolic blend that you see there is different from the oil in that it comes in a capsule. So if you don't love the taste, you can take it in a capsule. It's something that you can just add. Now, this is something we don't want to go crazy on. You don't want to have more than 3 a day. Some people think, you know, more is always better. And with essential oils, we always want to just start with the very minimum, right? It's gold, so you don't want to waste it, but it's also working at least for 4 to 6 hours. So make sure you're giving it that time in between. One of the things I really like for pancreas is taking these soft gels. If you're a person that has had pancreatic sludge or pancreatic attacks, or, you know, your body just needs that extra support in filtering, it's actually going to help to get the ducts clean in between the pancreas, you know. Just absolutely amazing. I love using this to actually help regulate your blood sugar. So if you're a person that is really trying to promote blood sugar regulation, this is gold. Blood sugar regulation is huge. If you're eating in between say you're having something even just like nuts, you're getting a bit of an insulin response in your body. And that's going to start to just burn that excess fat. You're never going to get down to that brown fat, that gray fat that you want to end up burning. So you end up kind of working against yourselves, even by eating healthy all day. Those breaks, those intermittent fasts, those, maybe not, pardon me, not eating after 8 p.m. until the next morning are huge to just give your organs a break. So it's not about picking a crazy program. It's just about, thinking, giving your organs a break, giving them the support that they need, right? Allow your body to get rid of that excess water. The Zendocrine capsules, they also come in another form, which is an herbal extract. And I took that, and I'm telling you, I don't know why I don't continue to take it. I ended up dropping like 8 to 10 pounds in water weight just because there was so much, like I had ankles again. It was really, my eyes weren't puffy. It was quite amazing. Um, then comes the adrenals, right? Your adrenals are so key because that's sort of where your stress hormone is produced. And the cortisol is going to work against your blood sugar. It's going to work against everything. It's going to hang on to everything all night. That's that storage mode that your body goes into, right? Your adrenal glands are on overdrive almost all the time. And the adrenal glands are those two little knobs you see sitting on top of the kidneys. And they're like the little orange things there. They can be just shriveled up into dried little peas sitting on top of there, and they should be these nice healthy glands that just have more than enough adrenaline and cortisol and all of these wonderful hormones that are just going to help get you to sleep properly, help you to get energy, help you to be able to actually metabolize sugars. There's so many things that it does, but it's key in stress. So you can support your adrenals by getting to bed on time, before 10:30. That's kind of the maximum. I'm a night owl, so I use Magnolia, have it in the roller, right? I literally reach behind me and I put it right on my adrenal glands. The Mito 2 Max. So, you've always wondered, I have it sitting right here. You've always wondered, when should I take this? This is if you don't have energy. This is what's going to zap your energy, is your adrenal glands being shot, right? And so just sleep, proper nutrition, and getting some of the Mito 2 Max to support your adrenals and using your Magnolia over them. Mwah, so good. So the last thing is thyroid, right? Everybody knows about thyroid. We have a really cool recipe to actually help to get your thyroid working properly. A lot of people go for thyroid testing and they're told that it's normal. Normal range is huge for thyroid. A lot of times, if yours is at 14.2, but 14.3 is high, they're going to say it's normal, but it's not normal, right? So I always have this roller around. Okay, you're going to get 10 drops of clove, myrrh, frankincense, and lemongrass in a 10 ml bottle. And you're just going to top that up with coconut oil or whatever you have for a carrier oil. And you're going to apply that 3 times a day. If you were awake, you could apply it again at night if you had real serious thyroid stuff going on. You could still use this if you were taking medications. It's not going to be harmful. It's only going to help to get those glands to actually stop overproducing or underproducing, depending on how much of a stress level you've had and your family history, right? Then everything can really start to work together. So if that, didn't quite cover it, there are some more things that we like using together. So when we're looking at hormones, these oils you really can't go wrong with, okay? Pineal gland, pituitary, hypothalamus, these are all in the brain. This is brain support. So absolutely making a roller ball with frankincense and sandalwood, the same thing, 10 and 10, just using that at the back of your head. You would want to just kind of put it all around your pulse points. You would want to put it on your wrist. You would want to put it in your hands and just inhale it. You could put it on your temples. It'll ground you. It'll get you focused. It'll help you sort of clear all those random thoughts that tend to just bounce around. Hormone and glandular, adrenal, kidneys, this is going to focus on that area. So if that's your thing, kidneys, maybe libido is a little bit low, there's stuff going on in the root chakra, geranium and ylang ylang, you can even just put these on the feet, right? You're going to want to put them on the organs that sort of need it, around your back, on your kidneys, Up the spine is great for all of these. It's going to get everywhere it needs to go. If you can't manage that, just put it on your low back, on your spine, on your, right down into your low back. Thyroid support, obviously, this is a quick one. Clove, lemongrass, and blue tansy. It smells absolutely amazing. This is something that you could, if you had something serious going on that you really wanted to nail in just thyroid, it's a really good support for pretty much anybody. Adrenal and glandular support is where we want to think of the Zendocrine. So that's our cleanser, that's our detox. That's our something we would want to use, especially in the first 2 weeks of your cycle after your finished menstruation, or if you're having a little bit of the acne showing up, this kind of stuff, you can start really using that Zendocrine either internally, just locally, anywhere that you sort of feel you could use that support. The Zendocrine's amazing for cleansing. And nerve repair. So if you're actually really like things got really messed up and you're really having a go, you don't want to start hormone therapy, you don't want to start, but you need some serious nerve repair. This is incredible. The DDR prime, it's actually made to sort of help to literally repair your DNA. So when I have people that have nerve damage where they're actually, even into the feet, if they're having any kind of numbness or neuropathies in the feet, the hands, anywhere, put this on the spine, put this on the feet, put this in the hands. It's just so beautiful. And then Whisper, that's a beautiful one for adrenal and mood stabilizing. We're going to go a little bit more into that one. I have another slide on that one, but that is my smell. That's been my perfume choice for years. I just absolutely love it. I always have it. Healthy thyroid, healthy hormones, right? So how do we know if we have thyroid problems? A lot of people don't. If you're having a lot of trouble with weight loss or weight gain, maybe it's in the endocrine system somewhere, but likely thyroid is a big one for metabolism, right? So this is another one. This is like a real big gun. Okay, so this has your frankincense and myrrh. This is lemongrass, lavender, and peppermint. So not only does it feel good, it's actually going to work on so many different levels. If you have anything that sort of needs those undertones with the lavender to calm you, frankincense, myrrh, lavender, you can't get more calm than that. The lemongrass is going to sort of allow things to start to actually appropriate properly through the system, and the peppermint is going to drive it all in. And so repairing tissue, healing tissue. If there's even someone that's had cancers, this is what I recommend for them. Even if they don't have a thyroid, this is huge support for that area. I absolutely love this one. Okay, so as we talked about with diet, I never recommend going on, super controlled diets. It's huge to try and do something like that. It's literally about keeping it as organic as possible, keeping the pesticides out as much as possible. So of course, if you can grow your own veggies, or you can get meat that, is natural, that the farmers, then absolutely, right? But one of the things that I want to talk about is how some of these things can be so destructive, and how some of these things can be so helpful. And when we actually use them on the right time of our cycle, it can benefit us twofold. So if we're going to do a fast, or if we're going to do a cleanse, why not do it in the time of our cycle that's actually going to propel us forward and work properly? So after menstruation for women, this is the follicular cycle. This is when it's good to push it with good raw veggies. You can do your chicken and your spinach, and it's going to make a real difference. It's going to make better results quicker and faster. We always want that, right? But it's also going to be the easiest time for your body to release these things. So it's a great time to do cleanses. It's a great time to hit that Zendocrine. It's a great time to push it with exercise, because you're going to benefit from it. As you reach up to ovulation, to the middle of the month, which is generally we go by the new moon. So say you're totally menopausal, you have no cycle, you just go by the moon. So the full moon right now is your starting of your follicular cycle. So for 2 weeks, you're basically just like your hormones are operating the exact same. You just don't have a menstrual cycle. That's all. And if you're on birth control, you don't have a menstrual cycle for real either. You're not releasing that egg. So you're not no one really has a true cycle unless they're completely not on birth control. So I go by the moon more than anything because that's sort of what our systems are designed to do. And so if you work with this, it makes it so much easier. So right now for 2 weeks, the only thing I add food wise is seed cycling. And you've likely heard of that, but that means right now for these 2 weeks, you simply eat a tablespoon each of pumpkin and flax seed. So you can just munch on pumpkin seeds a tablespoon a day. That's super easy, right? This you can have a little bit more of as well. There's nothing stopping you. But flaxseed too, you grind it up if you can, get a tablespoon of that in your smoothie or your oatmeal or your whatever you're going to have. That's a huge bonus for your hormones. And a lot of people, we just simply don't know that. After ovulation, so after the new moon for 2 weeks, we switch it over to sunflower and sesame. And all this is doing is switching all the amino acids that you need from these seeds into your system. Really, really, really naturally, we know that this scientifically has been proven. So why not give it all that we can, right? So again, for the first 2 weeks, follicular cycle, it is pumpkin and flax. And after ovulation, so the next couple of weeks from the new moon until the full moon again, we just eat sunflower and sesame. And how yummy are those? All right. So, if all of this is a little much and we just want to, make sure we have our fruits and vegetables, and we want to make sure we have all the vitamins, all the minerals, all the nutrients we need to help support our immune system, to help support our mood and stress management, to help support our blood, our brain, our joints, to help make sure that what we are eating is actually going to be available into our cells, and take a supplement that is really going to actually help us with energy. It's going to help our hair, our skin, our nails, and it has everything we need. We don't have to go buy all those extra things. It's literally all in these 3 bottles. It's super affordable. And some of the things that you can get when you get these vitamins are absolutely incredible, right? You can get your probiotics for a discount. You can get your digestive enzymes for a discount. It's incredible. They make it just so easy for us. So this whisper I promised I would come back to. This is our perfume for women. This is one of the only ones that's actually just as made as a perfume for women. It's just absolutely gorgeous. It has a little bit of that sandalwood, patchouli, sage kind of a smell to it. It's got some floral fragrances underneath with oils that we can't even buy separately. It's just its completely own unique blend. And all you got to do is just literally for hormone support and to smell absolutely knockout gorgeous is to run this up and down the spine, put it on your stomach to soothe cramps. That ylang ylang will just kind of touch on all of those hormonal issues that may be going on. You can put it behind your ears, again on your temples. Putting in your palm and inhaling it is one of my favorite ways. I actually rub it on the back of my neck, and then I take my hands and I rub it up into my hair. And when people give me a hug, they're always just like, oh, you just smell delicious. And it's always whisper. It's always whisper. One of the things it does is actually sort of helps you to feel happy, helps with anger or irritability. So I'm literally pretty much always like this. If people know me, I'm always smiling. People keep track of me in the grocery store from laughing or smelling me coming. It's quite funny. So this is called the Superwoman, the Superwoman roller bottle recipe. So this is for the woman that's basically going to do it anyway. She's just going to put her head down and her butt up and put on her cape and just freaking go for it, right? She's got some stuff going on, but she just wants to go for it. She wants that energy. She wants that balance. She wants to smell nice, but she wants to be grounded all at the same time. So if you don't have Whisper and you happen to have these, it smells a lot like Whisper, but it doesn't have the sandalwoody kind of scent to it. So I just love this one. You can take in a 10 ml roller bottle, 6 drops of clary sage, 6 drops of lavender, 6 drops of ylang ylang, and then 3 each of the geranium and patchouli. And this is where you're going to apply on the thinnest skin of your body. So inside your forearms, your pulse points. I like using on the lower stomach as well, the thighs, anywhere that your skin is a little bit thinner. Or if you just kind of want to not smell like crazy, but have that mood support and those hormones balanced, you can just simply put this on the feet as well. I think it smells great. Not everyone loves all of those oils, but together they smell absolutely gorgeous. So when we are looking at herbs that sort of make us hormonally quite a bit more balanced, that we would end up sort of buying separately or needing. One of the ones we always come across with studying hormones is something called Vitex. And Vitex is actually included in this essential oil blend, which is incredible. So you don't, again, have to go out and buy anything else. The ylang ylang, the clary sage, the bergamot, the chamomile, the geranium, and the fennel all together work sort of like an adaptogenic herb. So this is something that, if someone's having a really stressful time, they can use it, but they can also use it again just as a preventative, right? So if like we use this one a lot of times for my girls when they're going through their monthly cycles, I see the clary calm come out, I know exactly what's going on, because usually the heat bag disappears too. But I do love really using these. So here's a few things that you can do. You can end up using it to just sort of balance things by putting it on your back or on your spine again to regain your composure if you kind of need a moment. This is my little timeout oil. Again, putting it on your abdomen, but it's great for hot flashes too. So if peppermint alone ain't doing it, have them rub it on their neck, behind their ears, and their pulse points as soon as they get that hot flash coming on. If peppermint didn't work, this does. And if this doesn't, this with peppermint does. So that peppermint will just drive it in because it's not in this one. So try and use them together. It's incredible, especially if you're having a lot of trouble with hot flashes. Balancing changes altogether. Just when you know things are going on, it's something that you can use on your lower abdomen. Again, those thinner skin areas, those are where I really like to use them. And anxiety, you can absolutely use this just on your pulse points, on your heart, or rubbing it, just doing a strip down your palm and just inhaling it. Try it if you haven't. It's incredible. The other thing it does work for is acne blemishes. We were experimenting it with it just the other day, and my girls have been experiencing. We've run out of our phytoestrogen, so we've been using the Claricom, and it actually kind of got things back into balance again. So that was very nice to see. And I don't know if you guys have used this Airx very much, but wow, when you ingest this, it is huge for hormone balance and also cleansing. So if you only have this at home, you can definitely use a drop in a cup of hot water. You can use it in a capsule. You can just diffuse it in the kitchen, in the house. It'll actually really help with tension. It's also going to clear your space. It's going to clear, it's got sort of that purging effect. It's going to want you to clear. And you can also add this for skin blemishes, as it does really help with hormone balance. So sometimes that underlying acne, give this one a try, or just add it to your cream. It is a little strong, so some people may choose to dilute it, especially if you are using it on the face. But I strongly recommend putting a drop or two of this into your cream that you use at night. Right. So phytoestrogens. Now, one of the things I urge you guys to do is there's actually, there's a couple that are really neat. There's this Flow app, and there's Dr. Marisa Snyder. I don't encourage using her supplements, but she has basically exactly what we have in this. And what they have you do is there's these quizzes you can take to see, do you have high estrogen? Do you have high progesterone? What's going on with your hormones? So if you guys want to know if you have high estrogen, if you tend to get sore breasts around the full moon, if you tend to get extra puffy around the full moon, if you tend to have spider veins popping out, if you tend to have swelling, if just different things like that, that's a really good sign that you're high in estrogen. If you're high in insulin, if your insulin levels are out of whack, you'll have lots of skin tags. If your progesterone is out of whack, you'll have crepey skin. You'll bruise easy. There's different things that will clue you into. And then there's just the bleeding that you have. If you have a cycle, we can just go by that. If it's really bright red, you're often really high in estrogen. If it's darker, you're higher in progesterone. So it just kind of tells us what's going on in our system. But we don't learn that in health class, do we? So, if it's, this is so much, again, here's a magic pill. I hate using the term magic pill, but this really is one, okay? Because if you're, one of the things that happens is most of us are high in estrogen because we have so many xenoestrogens coming at us from external sources, from where we are getting our some of our products, even some of the things that we are just around in an office or around in other spaces, the even the alcohol that we're having to put on our skin with all these sanitizing and the just the different things that'll end up promoting imbalance in our body, right? Our body's fighting this all the time, so it has this extra estrogen a lot of times to try and balance things out because of all the stress levels. So everybody says reduce your stress levels. That is, we can do that somewhat, but when we need to do it on a cellular level, this is where the phytoestrogen comes into play. Dr. Hill uses this for his sons, even to manage acne, to manage, because boys go through hormones as well, right? It's not just girls. So, this is a great way to just manage our estrogen levels, manage our estrogen metabolism. Okay. So, our estrogen is meant to actually have this metabolism to eat up all these xenoestrogens. But when there's too much of it, it just kind of goes bleh. So it's amazing how this can balance, and it'll also help you balance if there's not enough. So how incredible is that? Um, just noticing the physical changes that happen once you start taking this. You can take it cyclically, you can take it all the time. It's something that really helps to get hormones right back into balance again. And it also has that pomegranate to really give you those antioxidants. So if nothing else, you're taking a pomegranate pellet, which is like incredible all on its own. Now, everybody wonders about bone health, calcium, magnesium, all these kind of things. We need vitamin D to absorb the calcium. If we're taking anti-inflammatories, if we're taking, all of it's right here. We just don't have to worry. Everything is made in a capsule that's highly absorbable to your body. Everything gets to where it needs to go. This is going to help all your nutrients do what they're supposed to do by giving them those bioavailable nutrients, just the exact ones that we need. Men can also take this. It is not going to harm them, especially if they are, suffering with something like osteoporosis or even osteoarthritis, right? We do want calcium and magnesium, but if we don't have the vitamin D to back it up and absorb it properly, and we're taking stuff that isn't meant for long-term use, we can end up getting into trouble. That's why I love doTERRA's supplements, because they're so vetted, they're so studied. It's absolutely amazing. Now, talking about sleep really quick, this is huge in, like I said, everything, right? One of the herbs I used to promote all the time before I knew about, before we even had this, was getting people to go get passion flower and hops and some L-theanine and all this kind of stuff. Well, this is all together. It's crazy. They even have the German chamomile, which is actually going to help you to stay asleep. The passion flower is going to help you to get to sleep. And the L-theanine is going to actually help good sleep so that you're rested and promote all those things to go on in the body that it needs to happen while you're sleeping. It's just incredible. So if people are having to take medications, to sleep, things like that, maybe this is something that could be an alternative. Obviously you'd want to talk to your doctor about this. And you definitely, what have you got to lose, right? If the capsule is something that doesn't feel right to you, we also have it in an oil blend too, right? So you can just use that on your feet in a diffuser. Absolutely incredible. So if your hormones are going haywire and you have sort of lost track with even where things were in the first place, so you're really starting at the beginning and you don't know where to go, you don't have clari-calm, this is a great way to kind of reproduce it as much as you can, because sometimes people go, oh gosh, I don't have that one, I have to order it. But you may actually have all of these oils, or maybe you want to just order one of them because they all do have their benefits, right? um, Depending on your hormone cycle, depending on what's going on, prenatal, postnatal, perinatal, you can always reach out to me. I am happy to sort of help you make kind of a step-by-step plan to make sure that you're on the right track. that you're not overwhelmed. But it's so easy, you guys. You really can't go wrong with using something like this. If you were pregnant, obviously this is something you have to sort of watch a little bit more, because the clary sage can actually move things along a little bit quicker, because it does actually help with uterine tightening. So, I encourage this one for women that actually have a little bit of pelvic floor dysfunction going on, because this is something that's really huge, and not a lot of people talk about it. So when things are just a muck, when you are, going through big hot flashes, when you're just sort of overwhelmed, this is a great roller ball to kind of go to. And also I've made it into a lotion and just kind of have it by bed to just rub my feet in and just moisturize, which is kind of nice as well. So this is, yeah, all cycle long. Now, here's kind of a little quick sheet for when you're actually going through specific parts of your cycle for your period support. So if you're actually having your cycle, the clary calm, it says clary clam, I'll have to change that. Clary calm, clary sage, lavender, and rose. They're so healing. They're so, rose is like literally the most healing oil, mentally, emotionally, physically, that you can use. So you cannot absolutely go wrong with rose. Even just throwing some of that in your diffuser is going to help you through that time. The perimenopause and menopause, we love to use a little bit of that jasmine to kind of help balance things out hormonally, and neroli. Neroli is so good for if you're stuck in a situation, you're living even in a situation that you have to just kind of put up with someone or something, you're struggling a little bit. Neroli is just beautiful for that. And again, your clary sage, it is just so great for sort of keeping things toned, keeping things tightened. The geranium is going to even help with your kidneys filtering to just kind of make sure everything's on track. And that rose is just going to balance it out and help to heal anything that's not getting it. So a libido booster, let's face it, everybody could use a little libido booster sometimes. And it's not even about sexual energy, it's just kind of that motivation in general. This is probably the roller that reminds me most of libido, or most of Motivate, just because of sorry, I was reading, just because of what actually is in it. It's got some undertones of that Motivate, but this is a beautiful one. If you happen to have these, you can actually, we say just kind of go from hip to hip, just kind of swipe it across your lower abdomen, follow it up with a little bit of ylang ylang, and then I like inhaling the wild orange after I've had ylang ylang on my hands, and then just putting it on my pulse points, maybe rub a little into the back of my neck. It's absolutely gorgeous. And again, you would use just the jasmine roller, and then the ylang ylang on its own, and the wild orange on its own after. So bergamot, I'm sure you guys know, is the biggest oil in self-love, and it's the biggest oil smell in all of the stress oils that you see in most modern day stress oils. Really helps us to kind of love ourselves. Really is an acceptance one. If we have a little bit of low self-esteem and we need to get out there and make a video, or we need to get out there and make a call, or we need to just get out there, this is a really beautiful one. You can use it in a drop of water. You can use it to just inhale. I love having it in the diffuser, or in the bath. That's one of my favorite ways as well. So healthy hormones, we talked about all of these, right? Here's the tools to do it. Consume healthy fats. We talked about our seed cycling and our good fats, avocados, coconut oil, all that good stuff, right? Watching your caffeine intake, you need some energy. Take your Mitomax at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and you're going to be flying. Sleep well. We have our lavender. We have our Serenity. We have our Serenity capsules. Gentle workouts daily. Oh, our deep blue rub. I love that stuff. I don't know if you guys have tried the deep blue stick with the Copaiba, but it's absolutely amazing. Supporting your digestive system. So we are going to just pop a bit into that a little bit more because it is so huge. The biggest thing is getting that enzyme, or that probiotic, prebiotic. For us, that prebiotic and probiotic are together in our PB Assist, makes it so easy. If we have the opportunity to take a digestive enzyme every time you eat, you are helping your body be on control. And that's actually sort of the celebrity's trick for diets, is taking an enzyme, literally just helping their body to digest what they're eating. And ours is the best, of course. Staying proactive with supplementing your body. Is it fiber you need? Is it vitamins you need? What about using your oils? You know, if you were to just kind of take a moment and ask yourself, take a deep breath, even, you know, we don't do that enough. Taking just a nice deep breath. Just ask yourself, what do you need to do to support yourself hormonally right now? After learning all that, after seeing all that, just what kind of sticks out to you? You know, what is it? It's probably usually pretty clear for me that caffeine is huge because sleep is my goal. And you know, really make that a choice. Make one of those things a real choice every day. And when we talk about keeping it going, that's what it is. It's no matter what course you've taken, no matter what mindset book you've read, no matter what it is, it's always the fact that we have to make that choice every day and take an action towards it, even if it's just one. If it's too many, if it's I need to do a meal plan, if it's too many, I need just do a meal plan for today, you know, even tomorrow. Maybe you'll even have leftovers. And now that frees up a whole day, it's going to start creating more time. It's going to start creating more energy. It's going to start creating more balance. And the biggest thing is it's going to start creating control, because we have control over these things. It's just literally our mind, right? It's our choice. So when you think about it, if one of those things to do is to get some oils because you don't have any oils, this is the way to do it. We have 3 ways you can purchase it. You can absolutely go online and just purchase it from whoever invited you. That is the most expensive way. So we don't encourage that always, unless it's, you know, in a storefront or something like that. We have our wholesale accounts where you can do exactly as we do and get 25% off that retail price immediately. You can get something to start you off with in the best way possible, super easy. And then it goes on. We have programs where you can get not only the wholesale price, but you can also earn free points and free products every month if you're ordering anyways. So something for an enrollment kit, you know, if you wanted to just kind of get started off right, this kit has tangerine, which is absolutely amazing right now for um, keeping your immune system operating on full gear, right? Same thing with our On Guard. We didn't even touch on Guard because it's a whole line in itself, but it's basically our immune boosting oils. I every night they go on my kids' feet. I was eating it this weekend, and that's why I'm better. I'm, you know, like I didn't need anything. I'm just better. It's amazing. This has your digestive enzymes, your prebiotic, probiotic, your lifelong vitality vitamins, your deep blue rub, your balance oil. And I believe it either has frankincense, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it's the big guns, guys. Absolutely incredible. So this is a huge way to just get started, have everything you need for all the support that you can possibly want. And then you can build your hormonal oils on top of that once you get balanced out, right? This kit has some really cool ones. This has the diffuser, so you can actually start just, you know, diffusing them in your home. Has the lemon that you can drink to alkalize your system. Has a respiratory blend. It has our deep blue blend as well, and an oil as the copaiba beside it. Oh my goodness, copaiba is just the absolute most incredible oil for arthritis and pain, and it blows my mind, absolutely blows my mind, that oil. And the adaptive, that's again all our adaptogenic herbs. That's going to help huge with anxiety, just get you really moving again, get you really focused and feeling amazing. Those are a couple of the bigger kits that we have. We also have a smaller one that has the smaller bottles with our digestion oil, oregano oil, On Guard, Easier, Deep Blue, so many really good ones, frankincense, tea tree, and a beautiful diffuser. It's a nice way to just kind of get started, especially if you don't have the diffuser. And there's 3 types of people that come to this class. There's the ones that just really want to live a healthy lifestyle, really want to have all of those tools at home to be able to just help your family. Then we have people who kind of like to share it. They like to help people. They like to know that they're making a big difference for people, and they actually get their product paid for. So there's those kind of people as well. And then there's people like myself who actually this is a full-time business. This is what I do. I love teaching, so I get to do this all day for groups. I can have these recorded. I can make an impact on families everywhere. I have have teams in Mexico, all over the place, right? It's you can change the world literally with a company that is completely on board with the same thing. So if that is something that interests you, we end up staying on after this class to just talk a little bit more about that. So you are absolutely welcome to stay. Um, but for now, I will stop the recording and just stop my share for a moment. And thank you all so much for coming. It was wonderful having you.